Got it? We are live. I am so hyped, baby. Week one is here. Me and Trey were actually just watching some football ourselves. We're so excited for it. So, Trey, how are you doing on this lovely week one starting day?
Well, it looks like Tennessee's defense is still suspect.
Hey now. Hey
No, hey,
now.
look, we can't fade from what we've already on, bro. But no, college football is in full effect, man. Week one, so I'm excited to get to it. Last week, uh, it's kind of like that appetizer, man. Week zero, I think, as far as like money is concerned, is a good thing. You know how they do it, but like good for the sport. It gives everybody like interested and gets them ready for week one. But this is like V legit. Like it's go time, like it's here, like you can smell it, you know.
Yeah. Uh, Week zero was not the best for me specifically. My unit management was off key. I woke up Saturday morning with I was half asleep and I saw a number that had just come out and I loved it and I max unit played it with 5 units, and if I didn't do that I would have been positive with my unit play. So for those that have followed, we have 3 new patrons. So welcome to them. Shout out to them. We're looking to build that up. For every 10, we do a little raffle for the 10 that are there, and we do a $50 free play, and we split the profits if it wins. So if you tell your friends about that, maybe you'll have a chance to be involved with that. So patreon.com/4th-and-1 pod.
$1.
$1. That's all it costs. We're not going to really harp on that now. We're going to actually go to a triple box because that's how cool we are now. And we're just gonna go through the big games, man, and just talk, just
What you
have a
got to?
conversation. I told Trey he was, we were trying to discuss what we were gonna talk about today. I was like, why don't we just save it for the pod? Like, let's just because we have so many great conversations about football uh, outside of this, and I was just like, why don't we just save a natural conversation for here? So that's what we're gonna do. We are gonna go right into it. And we got a game actually in about 30 minutes. For those that are watching live and want to hop on it and get our opinion on this, Penn State heading to Purdue. I believe Penn State, according to this, is giving 3.5 points to the home squad. Um, James Franklin, is that the coach over there? I believe at Penn State still.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of on the hot seat, or did he just sign a new deal? I'm pretty sure.
He
I
he
can't
did sign
remember.
a new deal. He signed a new
Okay.
deal, but they've, you know what I mean. You know what I
He
mean.
leveraged the USC job maybe to get a new deal. So he's safe for now. Yeah, supposedly. Let's just go with that. 3.5. What's your take? Do you have any opinion or leans on this game?
I frankly, I wouldn't. I would. I don't know if I would bet it just because I don't know, man. Purdue's one of those teams where you know what I'm talking about. Whenever you go to a football game on any given Saturday, Purdue is that team that beats the team that you thought was going to win by like 2-3 tuds.
Yeah.
Like they're that team. And again, man, like it's so fresh and so new. The only thing that I know is that Sean Clifford is a QB at Penn State, and I do trust him. I know that they have athletes on defense. They're a little bit. I think they wish that they would have done more in the transfer portal. I know they got a couple of additions, but not a lot. Um, Sean Clifford's been there since the Truman administration, so like if we can go off of just that, give me Penn State to win. I'm not betting it.
Yeah, I like Penn State money line here if I had a lean.
If you had to,
Yeah. Obviously, sign up for the Patreon. You get our plays, you get our card. But just to give our opinion on how we look at things, just from a vacuum output. Yeah, I like the money line here. I've actually got it in a few like just long shot parlays, just to add some value to it. I think not too much to think about with that game. I think it's going to be close, and I hate betting against home dogs, so I'd stay away from that. Fun watch though. I think it's gonna be a great game. This is a game that's live right now. OK State is tied, and they're still minus 17.5. That's something that shit. I might
that's
hop on that plus 17.5.
so that's a really good example. And again, you're way better at this than I am, but That's a good example. And the reason we're doing it this way, guys, and again, every episode is going to be different in some way, but this is a good example of what live betting can be for you. Like if you see a game going north and south and you're watching it, because looking on your phone at something is completely different. But when you can read body language, when you see plays develop, when you see, pushback on the O line from the D line, like you can see it. Like just now, Hendon Hooker just sailed one. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Hendon Hooker's got it, so let's take Ball State on the spread. Whatever it is, there's a lot of money to be made on live betting. So
yeah, and I had noted this on the Patreon that OK State historically sucks in opening games, and they've been under the Gundy administration for quite a while now. So
months, baby.
Yeah, so that's 60.5. It's already gone down 1 to 60.5.
Right.
And they're about to punt, so I'd consider hopping on that 60.5, or maybe the first half spread, whatever that may be. West Virginia Pitt, we're not going to get into that. I think that's going to be a low-scoring shit show. The total's already gone down 8 points, so stay away from there. Let's get into the Friday slate with TCU and Colorado. A lot of hype coming from the TCU camp. What I've been seeing the last couple of days of research. Anything that you've heard, or am I just overreading and overlooking in this?
So the thing about TCU, man, is that first and foremost, shout out to a couple of my boys that actually did good at TCU. One of them's in grad school. One of them's still chasing that undergrad. Apparently, he liked Vegas bombs too much to finish before now. But the one thing that I'll say, the one thing that I will say is that there's an increased effort amongst this team to try to be just a little bit better. Like there's this, for whatever reason, and you and I don't agree with this, but there's this slander in the Big 12 that it's apparently Oklahoma, like it's in Texas's conference to lose, and you and I both know that that's cap. Like you and I both are on the Dave Aranda train.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this, man. I'm not exactly sure how much play it'll get on in the season. A player that I personally believe in. I've loved him since recruiting. I've loved him ever since he's been at TCU. He's just a freak of an athlete. Just kind of hasn't worked all the way out for him yet. Marcel Brooks. He's on the all conference bus team. Like you want him getting off the bus first whenever you roll into town. As far as the game itself, man, look, Colorado is 13.5 points for a reason. This might be like a parlay game. I don't have money on this at all.
I actually saw a TikTok last night where this young guy, he bet $100 a day for like 45 straight days on the spread, and it ended up going from I think it started at 7.5 or 8.5, and it ended.
He moved the line himself.
Yeah, basically at that point. I mean, he has $4,500 on the game. So shout out to that guy. I hope he covers. I think he said -12 was the magic number. So even from yesterday, it's gone up 1.5. So cheers to him, man. The Kenneth Walker-less Michigan State taking on Western Michigan. They had a very good campaign last year. There was a lot of talks about Michigan State's head coach being a candidate for some high-profile jobs. He ended up signing a massive contract to stay with the program. So 20.5 against a fellow Michigan team. Just one of those stay-away games, man. We're gonna you see a lot of those. We really want to die and Trey.
I got you.
Okay, yeah, I had a little lapse in coverage there. -465 is a great play for NC State. I am very high on this team coming into the season. A lot of super seniors on the team, and I think this is a must-win game for them. So -11.5. I hate spreads. You'll see that throughout, our show. I hate betting spreads unless you're getting points. So money line or pass, Trey, anything on this one?
NC State's got a lot of old people, man. You're going to hear me say this 1,000 times. We're going to say this again later on another game coming up down the pipe. You're going to hear me say this a lot. there is something to be said for 22-year-old dudes on the line. You can have all the stars in the world, cuz you can be 18. 22, 21, 23-year-old men put hands on you. It's way different.
Yep.
NC State has a lot of that. One of my dogs just graduated from ECU, bro. Shout out my boy DJ. I stay away from this one. If you're gonna play the juice, parlay it with something else that you have confidence in. If you want to play it with Arkansas, play it with State, whatever it is, parlay, get that number down and let it rock.
Yeah, parlay. We are big fans of parlays.
Ooh.
I've got that in almost every single one of my parlays, so that's a huge buster right
Stay
there.
away from that 11.5. That's a really weird.
That's a weird.
If you can buy points down, you can even parlay another spread if you like it. But speaking of spreads,
this is a great game that I've been looking forward to talking about. Utah and Florida. It's about a field goal game. We've been very back and forth on this one. So what do you like? We've talked about how the Gators have a new head coach. They've got their faith completely in Anthony Richardson now going forward. If you had to go somewhere with this game for our fans, where are you going?
If Utah can't beat this Florida team, they're never going to. You and I together spent time saying how Utah was going to not run away with the Pac-12, but they're pretty clear in a way what should be the favorites in the Pac-12. They should win the Pac-12. They should. And if you can't beat this Florida team, who by everyone's metrics, not saying that we agree, but by everyone's metrics is a middle of the road average, Florida team, 7, 8, maybe 9 win Florida team, whatever it may be. If you can't beat this dude, then you're never going to. If I had to, I would probably pick Utah to win the game. It would not shock me at all because of who they have a quarterback in Anthony Richardson, dude. But there is sorcery and wizardry that happens in the Swamp. Please don't be surprised if that heat and that humidity and the satanic rituals that go on in the Swamp make them win the game, dude. That's a wild place. You and I both know that is a wild place to be. If I had to, give me Utah.
I am not questioning this one at all. I'm fully on Utah.
Okay.
-2.5 and the money line. I like both of them. I just think if this is the perfect time to catch a new head coach.
I agree.
You've been harping on that for a while now. It's the perfect time to catch a team like this because I think they can be strong towards the latter part of the season. Utah has a lot of people coming back. Mm-hmm. They finished on a great end to the season last year. I just like where they're at. They're more prepared. They're more, the older people like we talked about, they've got a lot more of those. The SEC brings in greater athletes. Fine, whatever. We have that argument. Utah all the way, though. I think there's just way too much experience, too many question marks for the Gators. So give me Utah in that one, man. I'm really excited to watch that game, though, because I think that's going to be one of the best games of the weekend. So, I don't know why this is on here. Jim Harbaugh is Michigan is historic. They have a reputation of losing their first games, aka shout out to App State. I'm not touching this. I mean, I heard Michigan. Is Michigan the team that announced that they were going to start quarterback the first two games and then make a decision? I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that.
Yes.
There's just, you're going to put a pressure on each quarterback to go out and ball out. And honestly, I might throw a dart at +30.5 just because of that. I just hate that for a team chemistry deal. I don't know. It just.
But the dumbest part about it, cuz, is why would you do it that way when you're playing Colorado State and you're just going to run the ball? Like you know what I'm saying? What are you gonna see? Are you gonna watch him bootleg 3 times and think that because what happens? And again, I couldn't even tell you who they played in the second week because I'm so focused on week 1 right now. And how I told you I'm trying to stay locked in.
Mm-hmm.
But what if the defense next week is better and your game plan has to be to go mid and deep? and let folks do the wet work in the middle of the field. And then the second, and then JJ McCarthy gets to you can't compare that. They're gonna run the ball all the way down their throat. That's just ignorant to me. But again, we're not
I agree.
Well, I am just not for college football.
I don't know. You're almost better off just going the route where like you have an internal plan to do it, but don't announce that. I don't know. That's just something about that just irks me. So, big game for me, big game for me, big game for me. Cincinnati, Arkansas, man. I am very high on the Razorbacks this year.
Yes, you are.
I don't think Cincinnati recovers from the amount of people they've lost on their team. They have a great defense. I'm okay with that. I think they're on the decline. Arkansas's on the rise. Minus 255. Slam it. Great parlay piece, I think. It adds great value to your legs. I think it's great value. I hate 6.5, but if I had to do it, if I had a gun to my head, I'm taking it. But minus 255, I love it. I can't wait for some player props. Check out the Patreon for those. When those come out, KJ Jefferson, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns. Give me all of that. Let me eat all of that up. Give me some Arkansas, baby. What do you think about this game?
Look, you and I both know how we feel about Arkansas. We watched them beat A&M last year in what I think was a good game. But there was a lot of people that watched them then play Georgia and get drummed, which just proves our point that there's levels to this. Cincinnati's got a nice team, man, with or without Desmond Ridder. But to me, if you're going to take the risk, Arkansas's got the toughest schedule in the league again. So if they're going to win, if they're going to win as much as they want to win, they're going, and only the kids in the locker room know that, and the coaching staff knows what that number is. But they have to win this game in order to do that. They have to, because if you don't beat Cincinnati, the SEC West looks like the Super Bowl for the rest of the year. So to me, if you're going to do this, and I even added this on one of my plays, just because I think that it's a good way to go. If you don't parlay Arkansas with somebody else and maybe get that plus 170-ish number with something else, do what I've done a lot of the times. You guys are going to see me do this a lot. Buy Arkansas on the winning margin of 1-6 at plus 310 or plus 330. If you think it's going to be a close game, I know Anthony doesn't think that it will be. I think that Russo is going to be sweating this one out. I think Arkansas is going to pull away late and squeak this out and win between 1 and 6 points, and that's 310 or 330 juice, depending on what it was when you get it. Do something like that. But they're a fine football team. Shout out DJ Nudie on the corner.
All right. I got a little excited for that one.
I saw that.
I've got no comment on this one. Houston's
a close line, though.
Houston's a good team. UTSA was very good last year. I'd have to double check and see if that's like a neutral site game or not. That's one of those I'm not interested in games. I don't even want to watch that one. Oklahoma minus 30.5, the debut of their new coach, their new quarterback, their new receivers, their whole new team, basically. I think they're going to come out and make a statement. I would take a shot at the minus 30.5 here. I think that's a lot of points. Oklahoma can score a lot of points. They might give up some too, but I think Clemson's new coach or former coach, what's his name? I already forgot his name. Dude from Clemson that came over there. You remember his name?
I didn't even hear. I didn't even hear what you said. You cut out a little bit. That's all good. Brent Venables.
Venables, yeah, Venables.
Right.
Minus 30.5. Yeah, my internet's acting up right now, so I apologize to the fans for that. Minus 30.5. I'd take a shot. I think he's going to bring some defensive integrity to this team for a team that's not typically like that. So I would take a shot minus 30.5 here. I don't know if you have an opinion on that or not.
They're going to blow UTEP's butt cheeks out of the water. I'm not you know how I feel about spreads over 25. But they're gonna you know what's gonna happen. UTEP knows what's gonna happen. They're gonna take their $1 million and go back home.
Yep, agreed there. BYU taking on USF, another one of those games where I'm just not interested in. I think BYU is a great parlay piece. If you need to add a little bit of value, any say on you here?
I think, and when you say, and just to clarify for the folks in the crib, like right now listening, when you say you're not interested in, you're just not interested in betting on it. Now,
Yeah.
we're the kind of folks that we're like the red zone for college football. I'll have an iPad, an iPhone, and a laptop and 2 TVs going if I can.
No, yeah, that's
as far as betting
I don't want to
concerned.
get that wrong. Yeah, betting. Now, if I see a juicy player prop that comes out, you might change my mind. I mean, I've still discovering some new transfers with some of these teams and some of their outrageously rated lines. So, not interested in betting though. I mean, I just don't know much about USF. BYU has a lot of turnover every year. It seems like they've got some good athletes going to the NFL. So, stay away game, but maybe add to your parlay.
Same thing.
Did Ole Miss name Dart the quarterback, the starter? Or
so there was controversy about like whether it was going to be like publicly stated, but no, I don't think that was officially named, unless I'm tripping. Now again, I've been at work all day, so I really don't know, but
Ole Miss.
No, it's neck and neck, dog. They're both even, says Lane Kiffin. As said by Twitter.
So
if either one, dude, Lane Kiffin can make me and you throw for 450. Like,
yeah. So the difference here between them and Michigan is I have a feeling Kiffin's historically known for running it up. He's a great offensive mind. And I think he plays both quarterbacks here, and I think they both go for it. I think
$1 million.
yeah, minus 21.5. If they've got a team prop, take their over on the total points. I mean, it's 55.5. I'd probably imagine they're probably around 34.5 ish, 33.5. I'd take minus 21.5. Maybe parlay that with the Oklahoma spread and have a nice day. Another blowout that I'm interested in: Lincoln Riley, Caleb Williams, and USC. Are you entertaining minus 32.5, or you think that's too much?
I'm probably going to stay away from 32.5 only because Lincoln Riley is not the kind of coach to want to roll it out on folks. But
you don't think so?
No, not for this. Not for Rice. They would do it if they were blowing it out of I think give me somebody Cal, like somebody UCLA, like if they had somebody like they were familiar with, maybe. But there's a big thing, and I've said this about another couple of coaches, man. There's a respect avenue for it. I'd like to think that Lincoln Riley would do that, but to be honest, I'm watching this game to see how their defense responds. They have a lot of smoke coming out of their Twitter, and look, I respect these boys. They convince them that they're not the best team in the Pac-12. Like, good luck.
Mm-hmm. And I like it. I like it. I like the smoke. I like the minus 32.5. I think they come out swinging. I think they come out and prove a point. So that's another one like we've been talking about. I'd take some shots. I wouldn't put the bank on it, but no, it put me. Oh, we got some props for this game. I accidentally clicked. Let's see what we got. Caleb Williams, passing yards, 268. Not bad. Wow, that's Caleb Williams rushing yard 28.5. Love that. That's a low number for him.
I would like that.
Oh, and they have I completely forgot they got the Oregon running back. Wow, that team's stacked, bro.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad. I keep trying to tell people.
That makes me interested in checking something real quick because I knew the next game's I'm pretty sure it's Ohio State. But I am lost in the sauce here on this website.
So the thing with Southern Cal is that they have the horses to do everything. Like anything and everything that they want to do, they can do it. So the issue comes whenever you start to think about everybody else in the Pac-12 and if they have the same kind of horses. And the answer is some of them do. So it's, can they gel? Can they play, in all three phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams? I like to think they can, man. Lincoln Riley's proved us all to be correct all that time. So Give me them to blow again the shite out of poor Rice.
Yeah. All right. So Oregon, Georgia, completely forgot about them. This is a trap game, in my opinion, as far as the spread is concerned. I'd look towards touchdowns. I'd look towards passing. I'd look towards anything else but betting that spread. I think your mind is tricked to believe that Georgia is this powerhouse from like we're thinking about last year. We're thinking about the historic team. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just they lost a lot of people on defense. Oregon is not bad. They're not going to stand down, and they know what's at stake here. Bo Nix is looking to prove a point. He's familiar with SEC caliber defenses. You never know, man. You never know. I'm not saying Georgia's going to lose this. I don't know. What do you think on this one?
They're not. They would have to play a sound game, and Oregon would have to be, in my opinion, significantly less talented than we think in order to, win this game by that spread. Vegas is trying to make money. Like they don't make a business out of losing money. They just set a record, Georgia did, for people going to the draft. And so the idea behind that is that you watched Utah come and drum Oregon, not once but twice, in like a 2 or 3 week period of time. Okay,
yeah,
well, I get it. This Oregon team did not lose anywhere close to as much as this Georgia team did. I know that Bo Nix is at the helm. I'm not saying he's Archie Manning, but he has played a lot of football. He's the greased up deaf guy.
If I'm on right now, anytime touchdown for Bo Nix plus
if anybody is going to find a way to cover, it's going to be Oregon, because there's another game that's got a very, very similar spread, and you and I feel completely different about it. So I don't like that. I don't like that.
I would stay away from that. Maybe take a shot at that Bo Nix plus 550. That is a great value number for them. So I love that shot. Next on, this is our second to last game we'll cover.
There it is.
And, not this one. Wait, what is happening here? What is happening here? Hold on. Let's go up. We scrolled down a lot here. Here we go. Amateur hour. There it is.
Ohio State carries across, bro. Everybody carries
minus 17.5. Ohio State. You know where I want to go with this, baby. You know where I want to go with this, dude. I want to see my boy Jackson Smith-Njigba's numbers while we're here, dude. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped, dude.
Look, allow me to set the table. Allow me to set the table for you. I'm gonna just say my point. Ohio State is much, much, much improved on the defensive line and the defensive aspect of the game, according to them. Okay? You get old boy from Oklahoma State. Look, you have to go out and prove it now. You have to go out and drum Notre Dame. You have to go out and boat race these boys, okay? Because Notre Dame, look, everybody's talking about, all the Notre Dame smoke and Notre Dame fans and the beat writer and they've been spending a lot of time dogging Brian Kelly, LSU, and everybody else. Notre Dame against the world. All right, look, this is it. This is the platform. This is the show. Put your hand in the dirt, chin up, and go pop somebody. Like, don't tell us that it's going to happen and then don't go out and do it. So, to me, I think Ohio State wins, and I think they win big if they're as good as we think that they are.
Jackson Smith-Njigba, I don't even care, dude. That's my favorite player ever. 105.5 over, minus 240 on the touchdown. Bet it. I just think this team is so focused on defense this year.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to focus as much on offense. I don't think there's going to be a lapse as far as offense is concerned. I don't think they're going to miss a step. But they focus so hard on defense this year that this team's going to be one of the best complete teams in the game. Look for them to make a statement. on Saturday. I think this is going to get ugly. I am not in strong faith with Notre Dame's situation. I don't think I'm not high on their head coach. But let's see. Let's see if they can prove it. All this hate that Brian Kelly's been getting in the SEC. Let's see, how they wouldn't be doing this in Notre Dame. He lost all the big games in Notre Dame. Let's see how true it is. Let's see how true it is. How much of an effect does Brian Kelly have or had on Notre Dame?
Mm-hmm.
Is this guy up to it? I'm eager to see the test. I personally think Ohio State's top 2 in the country, so I'm going with them. And look, we're moving on. You know where I like, but shout out Jackson Smith and Jigba. Love that dude. He's my favorite player.
He's a gangster, bro.
Yeah, he's a gangster, bro. Last game, and you know where we are going. LSU.
It's the most talked about game, bro. It doesn't matter what conference you're in or what religion you are. This is the game that everybody's been talking about. Mike Norvell, can he do it? Brian Kelly and the SEC set my table.
No player props, unfortunately.
Not yet.
I'll go check DraftKings while we get into my first question for you is, we got a lot of money riding on this game, do we not? It's pretty hard to hide that. We got a lot of money hiding on this one, dude.
Yeah, I'm a big parlay guy, and I've been trying to find reasons as to why I think Florida State can hang around and win the game. I have a lot of respect for their D-line. They're big, they're fast, they're mean. They got 3 running backs that can go. If you guys watched them play Duquesne, I'll say this: the most difficult thing about Duquesne is how they spell their name. Like there is nothing difficult about what they ran on defense, offense, nothing. Florida State's offensive line leaves a lot to be desired, but I have trust and faith in their O-line coach, bro. I have faith in them to try to keep it close because everybody's, there's a lot of folks down in Louisiana that think LSU's just going to come up and drum Florida State, and I don't know how you see that. I think that LSU's D-line is going to be much too much to deal with than the Florida State offensive line, and I don't know if Florida State's DBs can cover these cats that they got in the wide receiver room for LSU. Yeah. If you can find 2.5, man, take it. If not, minus 155 on the money line for LSU to win. There's going to be some player props, I think, eventually that's going to come out later because they haven't announced the starting quarterback yet, and they're not going to, apparently. So when they do come out, check the Patreon for it. I think this game starts and ends in the trenches.
I love Butte as a receiver, but if they release his number, because all signs are pointing towards Jaden Daniels starting this game, if they start him, Butte is going to have an inflated number. I love the guy. I think he's one of the best receivers in the country. I would take the under on his number. Touchdown prop, take it. I just think they're going to inflate him. He was the best receiver in the league, arguably, before he got hurt last season. He doesn't have as much of a passing quarterback in Jaden Daniels. I just think if the number's anywhere above 80 to 90, just for the sake of this game, take the under. Jaden Daniels, if they for some reason give us a prop on him, I love the anytime touchdown for him. I think he's going to get into the end zone. I think he's going to bring something that LSU hadn't seen in a while as far as a dual threat quarterback is concerned. I mean, when's the last time they've had a good running quarterback? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't consider Joe Burrow was a great runner. That wasn't his strong suit.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Jaden Daniels is a stronger runner than passer, in my opinion. So I don't know. Ryan Perrilloux, you can argue, but I mean, he had a cannon. He had a cannon as well. So Jaden Daniels, anytime touchdown, if you see it, money line all the way, max play, minus 164 on FanDuel right now. I would touch that all the way up to minus 200. I think LSU gets it done. It's not going to be easy, but I think they just have too much man strength on the line, on the D line. I don't think they're going to run all over them like they did with Duquesne. I I just don't see enough. I mean, total points for LSU, I want to say it was for the team, it was 25.5. Could be wrong on that. They expect a low scoring game. They always want to. I don't see it on here anywhere. I guess I'll have to go double check that. But anyways, you know where we're at on that home team. Here we go. 27.5. Okay, so it's gone up a little bit. We're on LSU. It's we've named at least 4 parlay breakers like that we really need as far as money lines are concerned here. But as far as our Patreons are concerned, give the fans one of your free plays, man. Like just give them one. What's your favorite play on your card that you want to give out to the fans, and let's see if we can make them some money just on that play. What do you like?
So I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2. I don't think that they're going to release it. I don't think that they will. I would take the over on Florida State sacks if it was 1.5. I think that that's a good play. Their D-line is pretty scary. And then I would take Brian Kelly's been talking this kid up like he's God. So big pressure on Mason Taylor, son of Jason Taylor, bro. He's the tight end. He's a freshman. I would if they give a prop for him, and I don't think that they will, but if they give a prop for him as an anytime scorer, I would take my shot on him. I think that he's a pretty good bet to make if you wanted to maybe take your shot. But that's my play as far as player props. I've got a big 4 parlay. I've got a UGA so Georgia minus 900, Arkansas at 240, Ohio State rather at 800, and LSU at 155. All those combined, when I got it and parlayed them together, it's Trey's big 4 parlay at plus 191. That's one of my plays. That's something that I think you're going to be sweating towards the end with the LSU game, but. Look, bro, I'm just calling balls and strikes. We could come back and be wrong, but we have so very little to go off of. But we've done this a whole bunch. Like we're not tripping when we go over the points. Like these are fair points. So,
all right. Well, I hope I'm gonna be hopping on that. I hope everyone else does. And look, you can already see this number I've got for my favorite play of the weekend. Grant Wells, the transfer quarterback from Marshall, the gunslinger. I told Trey yesterday, it was 2 days ago, that his number was 212.5, and I was in awe because his numbers at Marshall were insane. The guy's got a cannon. He's a great passer. I think he averaged in the games he played about 8 games last season. Mm-hmm. He was kind of nicked up a little bit as far as injuries were concerned, but I think he averaged about 270 a game. So when I saw 212, I was like, dude, I'm on that already. 224.5 right now. It's already gone up 12 yards. I still think you hammer that until about 240. I think Virginia Tech is a balanced offense, but they haven't had a good quarterback since Michael Vick, it feels like at this point. Mm-hmm. So 224.5 is a max unit play for me outside of LSU. That's my favorite player prop. So I love that one. But now that we've got all these player props out, check out the Patreon. I'm doing some extensive research on those tonight because I'm so pumped that these lines are out already. So check out the Patreon, patreon.com/4th-and-1 podcast. $1, man. That's all you need. Donate. Shout out to our patrons. We've already got 3 of them. Join the club. And that's it for us, man. Any last words from you, Trey?
No, bro. Just enjoy it, man. College football's back. I can smell it. You can literally smell the beer and the sweat in the air. Like it's here. Let's just enjoy it.
Let's go, baby. I was trying to keep up with some of the games while we were doing this. I'm so pumped right now. So, everyone, Muggin dude, you have Joey Estes. Wow, my friend is an asshole. Joey Estes. Shout out to him to being an asshole. So, and screw CarMax. I hope CarMax burns down. All those other places are great. I love the car places that do local car business in Baton Rouge. So, anyways, last words. Go Tigers, baby. Let's go.